What radio station is that?
Welcome to the future.
Pensioners 106.7 FM. The voice of liberation.
The time is 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. This is News Around the World on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbari Gunireke Ibadan. I am Inumidun. Afonja Adedeji. First, the top stories. Presidency rejects amnesty report on Lekki shootings. Tanzania Electoral Commission dismisses opposition's allegations of vote fraud. Trump slams lockdown. Biden accuses him of insulting victims. And in sports, Mario says Bill is ready to fly. Now the news in full. The Nigerian presidency says it will not accept the report made by Amnesty International on the Lekki shooting. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, made this known in a televised program. Adesina noted that human rights group is wrong for attributing the Lekki shooting to the violence and carnage that occurred in the country last week. He added that there was already violence before the Lekki incident. Additional said anarchy had broken loose before the Lekki shooting, adding that Orile police station had been burnt, prisons in Benin, and had been broken open before the incident. Some Nigerians have condemned Donald Trump's position on the emergence of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the consensus candidate for the post Director General of the World Trade Organization. On social media platforms, they liken the United States opposition to the encounter by the African Development Bank chief, Akinwumi Adesina, who also faced intense hostility from Washington before his re-election. The House of Representatives has asked the Minister of Power, Salim Memman, to sanction the electricity distribution companies for unfairness in power distribution. They spoke when the Minister of Power appeared before the House Committee on Power to defend the ministry's 2021 budget. Lawmakers took turns to recount their constituents' experiences in the hands of discos who they accused of defrauding Nigerians with impunity. In Oyo State, about 167 non-governmental organizations, orphanages, and children homes collaborating with the Oyo State government have benefited from a special subvention of 11.5 million naira. The subvention is designed to give relief to the bodies for their dedication and reaching out to the vulnerable people in the society. Governor Sheyi Makinde, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Mrs. Olubami Wadioshu, presented the cash subventions to the beneficiaries at the conference room of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Social Inclusion. A petrol tanker has been gutted by fire in the Lakasera area of Mile 2, Lagos State. Some vehicles around the premises were also reportedly razed by the inferno in the early hours. The driver was said to be conveying the petrol to a destination in the state when he lost control of the vehicle. It was learned that the truck overturned, resulting in the spillage that reportedly burst into flames. The spokesperson for the State Fire Service, Jamiu Dosumu, said the fire had been extinguished, other than that no death was recorded. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government has approved the reopening of schools for all classes in public and private schools across the state, beginning from Monday, the 2nd of November 2020. As Muslims celebrate Eid al-Maulud across the globe to mark the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, Nigerians have been helped to embrace love and peace as propagated by the Holy Prophet, as well as humility. In this special report, our correspondent Ibi Shola takes a look at the significance of the festival. His report is presented by Yetunde Oki.
On the 21st day of the Islamic month of Rabiul Awal, Sunni Muslims celebrate the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, while Shia Muslims celebrate the holiday on the 17th of that month in Nigeria. The holiday is known as Eid al-Maulud. The Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca in what is now Saudi Arabia in the Georgian calendar year of 570. The actual day of the birth is unclear, which is why Shia and Sunni Muslims celebrate on different days. Maulud refers to birth and is used to describe the Prophet's birth. Many believe that Prophet's birthday was worthy of celebration, while others believe that celebration of birthdays is against Islamic law. In most cities, Eid al-Maulud is celebrated with large street parades, with homes and mosques decorated in honor of the Prophet. In fact, entire cities are often decorated with sweets and candies handed out during the celebration. Many people donate food and other items to charity, while others listen to children's reading poems about the Prophet. For those who do not believe in celebration, more time is spent reading the Quran, while others see fasting during the daylight hours of Monday, which is said to be the day of the week Muhammad was born, as a way to honor him. Many sing devotional songs in order to open a divine channel into the world of the Prophet. There are many Muslims who object to lavish celebration in honor of Muhammad's birthday. There are some who also believe that celebration is against the practice of Muhammad himself. They feel that Muslims are supposed to emulate Muhammad and the fact that he did not celebrate his own birthday. With the foregoing, should the Prophet's birthday be celebrated? How should it be celebrated? And what are their messages to Muslims? Some Islamic clerics, Imam Abdul Hakim Awe of Ahmadiyya Mosque and Imam Ibrahim Bello, a school teacher, speak.
There is no basis for celebrating Maulid Nabi in Islam because the Prophet did not celebrate it, and when he left, his Sahaba did not celebrate it. So that is not, and whoever has any point, reference in the Quran or Hadith should come up with it because that is the basis of Islam. Anything short of it is out of Islam. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not celebrate his birthday while he was on earth. According to one of his traditions, what he said was that I was born on Monday, I was called to prophet on Monday, so I used to give thanks to God by fasting on Monday. Be that as it may, when he left, there is need for us to reflect upon his lifestyle, his birth, how he lived, his call to prophethood, how he related with mankind. Leaders of nowadays should reflect on his lifestyle. We don't have good leaders. If our leaders will reflect on the way the Holy Prophet led the entire nation, then we'll learn a lot of lessons from him.
Yetunde Oki for Pensioners FM.
This is news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Let's now talk some pension and labor stories around the world. Police Pension Fund Administrator, the NPF Pensions Limited, has reassured the personnel of the Nigerian police, both serving and retired, on good investment return and safety of their pension fund assets. The Chairman, Board of Directors, NPF Pensions, retired IGP Suleiman Abba, gave the reassurance during the commissioning of the new head office in Abuja. Abba stated that the company will not relent at delivering the best services and make the enhancement of their welfare. India Labour Ministry is set to bring existing voluntary pension scheme for small traders and unorganized workers under the ambit of the Employees Provident Fund organization. The idea is to make the two schemes more attractive besides simplifying implementation after these schemes have failed to draw significant subscribers even after a few years of launch. You are still on to news around the world on pensioners. Tanzania's Electoral Commission has dismissed opposition allegations of fraud in Wednesday's general election. The head of the National Elections Commission, Semistocles Gage, gave claims of fake ballot papers were unsubstantiated. The main opposition presidential candidate, Tundu Lissu of the Chadema party, claimed that there were widespread irregularities and his agents were prevented from assessing polling stations. The United States has expressed concern over inconsistencies in preliminary results of Guinea's presidential election. In a statement, the United States Embassy spoke of a lack of transparency in vote tabulations and inconsistencies between the announced results and tally sheets results from polling stations. Guinea's 82-year-old leader, Alpha Conde, won a controversial third term in office amid violent protests across the country. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has urged states to shun lockdowns as his Democratic rival, Joe Biden, said the pandemic could not be stopped by flipping a switch. Continuing a whirlwind schedule of rallies in battleground states, Trump also mocked mask mandates. Biden said Trump's handling of America's worsening coronavirus crisis was an insult to its victims. The Democrat has a solid national lead over the Republican president 6 days before the 3rd of November election. A curfew has come into force in Philadelphia after 2 days of protest and looting following the police killing of a black man, Walter Wallace Jr. The family of Wallace Jr. says he was suffering a mental health crisis when he was shot by officers. On Tuesday night, protesters again clashed with police and barricaded businesses across the city were looted. Recall that Philadelphia also saw large protests earlier this year over police brutality and racism following the death of George Floyd in Minnesota. Two of Europe's biggest economies are reinstating some form of national lockdown as the continent confronts a surge in coronavirus cases and deaths. Report says people in France will only be allowed to leave home for essential work or medical reasons from Friday. President Emmanuel Macron said the country risks being overwhelmed by a second wave that no doubt will be other than the first. Germany, meanwhile, is imposing a soft national lockdown. The measures coming into force on Monday include the closure of restaurants, bars, gyms, and theaters. This is news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM. We will be back with entertainment and sports stories. There has been a significant increase in the number of Black, Asian, and minority ethnic staff in the music industry since 2016. According to reports, the proportion of minority ethnic employees has risen from 15.6% in 2016 to 22.3% this year. In the exciting world of sports, Tottenham Hotspur manager Jose Mourinho says Gareth Bale has worked hard to improve his fitness levels. The Portuguese manager added that Wales forward will be ready to fly when it takes the field against Royal in the Europa League later on Thursday. And to end the news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM, here's a recap of the main stories. Presidency has rejected Amnesty's report on Lekki shootings. Tanzania's Electoral Commission has dismissed opposition's allegations of vote fraud in the general elections. United States President Donald Trump has slammed lockdowns. Joe Biden accused him of insulting victims. And in sports, Tottenham Hotspur manager Jose Mourinho said Gareth Bale worked hard to improve his fitness levels. For any information, contact us on this mobile number 0812 0086 270 or 0812 1889 462. You can also visit us at Oyo State Pensioners House, Agbarigo, Nireke, Ibadan. You can also download our app on Google Play Store. Search for Pensioners FM. The news editor is Olarin Sayo. Oweye. I am Inumidun, Afonja Adedeji. Thank you for listening.